Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV 8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities. Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives, and when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56.
This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Monday, November 13th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, Barbadians are being assured that there will be more than enough pork available at the Christmas season as it fast approaches. However, there may be some challenges in accessing some herbs, fruit, and vegetables, while the chicken supply is expected to be close to normal. CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, gave the update last night on CBC TV8's current affairs program, The People's Business.
I've been hearing the rounds recently in the port community. There's a rumor going around that, there are 2 containers that have come in out of Suriname. I'm not like, hold on. We always have this penchant in this country for imports. And I really think that this, it will be a sin if at a time when farmers have an opportunity to make a lot of money, okay, for the feed their families, and they're not exorbitant in terms of the demands, okay, that was to be robbed of them by imports. And I want to make it very clear that I'm hoping that government recognizes this, okay, and that we do not have a situation where any imports will be coming into the island around Christmas when it comes to food products. That's simply not, because farmers have the ability. There are farmers out there who basically design that if it is one time of the year animals for, that is at Christmas time. Okay, so I don't think so. I don't think Barbadians need to fear that they will not be able to get the usual pork for the Christmas table. So I don't think we need to worry about that. When it comes to the area, for instance, of poultry and eggs, the industry has always done what it takes to ensure that Barbadians are able to have ample quantities of those 2 items on the table. We do not need to worry when it comes to that. The other point I wish to make, when it comes to the area of fruits and vegetables, we have said before that there could be challenges in relation to some products, but I think that if the conditions out there change well enough going into Christmas time, we can see an improvement. And we can always make adjustments as we get closer to the period, but I don't think we need to worry that much, buying what could happen in the weather.
Adds that as far as poultry goes, the smaller producers have been playing an important role in helping to maintain supply.
We must remember that small producers take up a significant over 40% of the market. And the thing is really that the small producers instantly respond to demand. The other point I wish to make is that the supermarkets have played a very critical and important part in terms of the industry in itself. And one of the things we find in the supermarkets is that they like to diversify the sources from which they actually get chickens. So there's a lot of criticism sometimes they make of the supermarkets when it comes to the request of importation. But one of the things that we know is that they always, most of them will tell you, is that they want to ensure that they don't have to depend too much on one producer. And what we have seen, talking to a lot of the supermarket people, is that they have been diversifying their demand in terms of, trying to make sure that they involve as many players in the industry as possible. The problem, of course, comes in terms of reliability, because, you're running a supermarket and you cannot have a situation where if you expect to get a commodity, that you have a situation where anybody's going to tell you that they run out. So they also have to leverage that against the fact that you have to identify the dependable producers who are able to deliver a product consistent with quality and at a consistent price. And that is something, of course, that is a challenge, but they have been able so far to work in the market in order to achieve that.
Meanwhile, Mr. Paul also touched on the contentious issues of the impact of the monkey population on farmers' crops, noting that they are having an impact on costs for farmers and ultimately the production of food. He believes the long-promised census of the monkey population needs to be completed, but he also believes the time has come to increase the bounty on monkeys to help reduce the population.
Even if we do it for a period, because if you're managing it properly, once you're aware of the numbers, you increase the bounty so that you can, for instance, give monkey hunters greater incentive to go after these monkeys, because it is an expensive proposition. When you have people who have to go after these monkeys, they have to buy equipment to do it. So therefore, I think that is something that we need to have some flexibility with.
Noted entomologist Ian Gibbs also weighed in on the monkey issue, noting that they cause significant headaches not only for established farmers, but people with backyard gardens as well.
They do a tremendous amount of damage to our crops. And our fruit trees, even cotton they will damage and cause dramatic production decreases. Look, we have to be realistic. We need to manage the monkey populations on this island. We are not looking at destroying every single monkey on the island. No, no, no. We are looking at managing the populations to a degree where they will not cause significant damage to our crops, to our fruit trees, and yet be able to maintain their level of populations for their own reproduction and so forth.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, the U.S. intensifies negotiations for hostages held by Hamas.
.1 One is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One. Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, general practitioner and healthy lifestyle advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to
U.S. President Joe Biden spoke on Sunday with Qatar's Emir about developments in Gaza. Biden's National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, says the U.S. is actively engaged in negotiations between Israel, Qatar, and Hamas to secure the release of hostages believed to be held in Gaza by Hamas.
There are ongoing negotiations involving the Israelis, the Qataris, and we, the United States, are actively engaged in this as well because we want to make sure that we bring home those Americans who have been taken hostage as well as all of the other hostages. So that continues. There are efforts to try to secure a deal that would involve the release of hostages. And the president's not going to rest until we achieve that deal so that every single one of those hostages can come home safely.
He repeated the same 4 points on several of the Sunday news shows here in the U.S. Firstly, on a potential captive exchange. He wouldn't confirm what has been circulated under the surface here in D.C., certainly, that perhaps a captive exchange was being discussed whereby captives would be released in exchange for Palestinian women and children held in Israeli jails. He didn't confirm those details, but did say that the negotiations were ongoing with the U.S. involved, as well as Israel-Hamas brokered by Qatar. Secondly, on that issue of Israeli targeting of hospitals, targeting of the Al-Shifa hospital, he wouldn't confirm that Hamas was using Al-Shifa Hospital as some sort of resource, but he did keep on referring to open source information on Hamas's track record. But then he did say that the U.S. doesn't want to see firefights in hospital with innocents caught in the crossfire, and that there were ongoing consultations about that issue with the IDF and the U.S. Thirdly, on the U.S. citizens in Gaza, some 400, he said that the gates were open, quote, today, referring to Rafah, we think, and that he expected more to be able to leave in the coming days. And then finally, on whether the U.S. position was diverging with that stated by Benjamin Netanyahu as to the future, Sullivan repeated the U.S. position that, as far as they were concerned, there should be no reoccupation of Gaza, there should be no reduction in the territory of Gaza, no forcible displacement of Gazans, and that there should be some sort of unified Palestinian leadership of both the West Bank and Gaza.
Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes in Gaza have killed more than a dozen people and destroyed the main hospital's cardiac ward as fighting continued in the besieged Strip for the 37th consecutive day. At least 13 people were killed in an Israeli airstrike on a home in Khan Yunis.
More homes destroyed, more families ripped apart by Israeli bombs, followed by the all-too-familiar cries for help at the overstretched hospital and the desperate fight to save lives.
The area was hit by a number of missiles. Many were killed and injured. All of them were children, all civilians. The entire area was leveled as if it were an earthquake. It is a genocide. All those killed were children, innocent children. The entire neighborhood was reduced to dust.
The Gaza Health Ministry says several Palestinians were killed and injured in the strike. Khan Yunis is in the southern Gaza and housing people forcibly displaced from the north. Israel has told Palestinians to move south while it intensifies operations in the north. Then it bombs the south again and again.
I was coming with my horse. I stopped the horse. The aircraft came and fired something that looked like a belt in the sky. The bombs rained down on us. There was bombardment everywhere. They were not rockets. They were like barrel bombs, so I kept looking at them. I have 2 young daughters and this boy. Everything collapsed and I couldn't see anything.
Survivors salvage what they can, in the hope they may rebuild their homes one day.
It's the first time I've seen such an airstrike. What is happening? I ask God to take vengeance on the United States. They killed us, inflicted a Nakba upon us. I ask God to take vengeance on the killers of our children.
Many Palestinians now say they rely only on God. They have no faith in the rest of the world.
Well, it's time now for us to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. The Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation will be in to tell us all about some activities that will be coming up. Likewise, we're telling you about the 59th anniversary of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And we also have the Barbados Photographic Society coming in as they celebrate 20 years. Plus, the Lions Diabetes Global Village will tell you more about that. And we meet the St. Joseph Parish Ambassadors to complete meeting all of the ambassadors for this year's Spirit of the Nation Gala. That's coming up at 6:30 though. Next we have more news, sports and weather. So stay with us.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise. When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond.
Thousands of National Housing Corporation tenants who are still awaiting the free transfer of ownership under the government's divestment program could be in for some good news in the very near future. Project coordinator with the NHC, Roger Ward, gave an update on the process during the Public Affairs one-on-one program carried on CBC TV 8. Ward says 3,074 tenants qualified under the program, only so far 500 of them have received their conveyances. This, he says, is due to some legal challenges related to improvements they have made to their homes over the years. He, however, says all of the tenants who qualified have been living rent-free in the interim. Mr. Ward explains the specific legal challenge that has delayed the transfers for the majority of the tenants who qualified.
Over the years, a lot of tenants have made additions to the units, and it has prevented us from receiving planning permission to subdivide those units, because a lot of the additions that were made were illegally done. Therefore, government has had to look at a means of transferring these units to people while taking into consideration all of the regulatory concerns.
As a result, he says the corporation is now at a stage where they're considering conveying the units through an act of parliament to avoid infringing the planning regulations. He says they recently prepared a paper which is intended to go to Cabinet in the next few weeks, and once approved, it would go before Parliament to facilitate the transfer of the remaining 70% of the units. It's not all good news, however, as the NHC is also facing a significant issue of arrears, with the current amount owed to the corporation by delinquent tenants running at approximately $11 million all across the board. Noting the corporation will no longer be able to draw from central government in the future, he says from this month they will be intensifying efforts to recoup the monies owed. In acknowledging the social role of the NHC, he says part of the process will involve means testing to help determine those who can pay, those who are genuinely experiencing difficulty, and those who simply refuse to.
We cannot continue to allow people to occupy our units and not pay their rents after they've asked us to undertake upgrades and repairs and so on. And we are going to be pretty aggressive in trying to collect our monies. There are people who obviously, because of their circumstances, that they may not be able to pay. Those are not the persons we are targeting. We will target those who are gainfully employed, who have incomes, and who bluntly refuse to honor the commitment to the National Housing Corporation.
There are plans to expand programs at the Barbados Community College. They were revealed as the BCC hosted its 50th anniversary graduation ceremony. CBC's Akeem Klinkett reports.
Over 907 degrees, diplomas and certificates across a range of disciplines were awarded. This is up from last year's 800. This number could climb even further if Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training Kim McConney has her way. She told those gathered government wants to meet a high demand for programs offered by the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute and Hotel Palmarine.
For instance, most in demand is at the Hospitality Institute is our associate degree in culinary arts. And in 2022-2023, out of 261 applicants, only 61 could be accepted. And so there is clearly work to be done, and we are in the process of expanding the Jean and Norma Holder Institute.
Plans have also been announced for the BCC to help government address ongoing water management issues.
We are facing now a challenge of water scarcity, just like the rest of the world, and the need to manage this resource is real. The establishment at BCC of the Water Academy is another priority, and this will be facilitated in collaboration with the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. The timeline on this is to be finalized, but the conceptual wheels are in motion, and BCC is at the center.
The education minister also noted nursing students have been benefiting from the newly reinstated stipend.
I am also pleased to state that the stipend for student nurses have been reinstated by our government, and a total. Yes, you can clap for that, because I know there are a number of nurses here today who have graduated exceptionally. And I have to say that a total of 195 students in the Bachelor of Nursing program have been beneficiaries of this stipend for the period 2022 to 2023.
Valedictorian of the class of 2023, Adam Leon, spoke about the importance of teamwork. He believes it was very important for him and his class to achieve success.
One thing that I have learned at the Barbados Community College that I want to share with you this evening is to never underestimate the importance of teamwork, as it is through working as a team that we achieve our goals. Regardless of what difficulties you are faced with, working together is key. This stands true for everyone, as no one person can handle life's challenges on their own. We need to learn to think of others and be community-minded, as we are stronger when we work together and support each other.
The graduation was held under the theme Framing the Future. Akeem Klinkett, CBC News.
Polygraph testing is set to bolster performance across agencies in St. Kitts and Nevis. According to a police media release, the national security apparatus of the Federation is currently undergoing a multi-agency manpower upgrade through polygraph testing, as we hear from ZIZ Television.
The testing began on November 6, 2023, with the highest-ranked officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force, His Majesty's Prison, and the Immigration Department. It is being administered by officials from the Regional Security System, RSS, and will continue through to November 9, 2023. According to the statement, polygraph testing is set to become a part of the internal administrative and management structures within the nation's law enforcement and national security agencies in the near future. Such an addition will function to ensure the Federation's national security agencies are properly staffed and suitably structured to best serve the people's needs and interests.
As the Christmas season quickly approaches, many shoppers are turning to online sites to make their purchases. However, over in Belize, some shoppers are falling prey to scammers. The situation has the attention of the authorities. Love TV has that report.
People across the country are losing thousands of dollars to scammers who have now developed a new way of swindling online shoppers. The cunning scheme involves three people: a legitimate buyer, a legitimate seller, and a white-collar crook posing as both a fake buyer and seller. The grifter begins by posting a fake advertisement like this one, which lures unsuspecting customers who may be enticed by a good deal. One Belize City woman explained that she fell victim to a scammer who robbed her of almost $2,000.
I sent the person a message asking about the price, how I could actually see the item. The person messaged me back and, give me the price, but I couldn't go see the item because, they never located in my area. I asked for the banking information. He provided me the banking information. The following day, I went to the bank, made the deposit, took a picture of the deposit slip and sent it back to the person.
Little did she know that the money never made it to that person for their phony item. Instead, the crook made her deposit the money into someone else's account who was selling another item online.
The person just never answered me back. So I keep message a person, I call a person per messenger, no answer, no text, nothing, and this gone on for like about 3 days. When we called the account holder advised me that the item where I purchased via Facebook was given to, I want to say John Doe. I don't want to call the person's name, but it was given to John Doe.
Unfortunately, this woman is only one of the many persons who have fallen victim to online scammers. Superintendent of Police Osman Mortiz, who is heading the police's IT and cybercrime unit, explained that over the past 2 years, cybercrimes have skyrocketed.
There are legitimate business people out there, but also there are those who are out there to deceive and make quick or easy money without providing the product that these people are seeking. So what we have found out is that these scammers prey on those people who trusted, so you have to be careful out there.
Scammers use various means to hide their identity and remain unknown. However, Mortiz says the police can use state-of-the-art technology to track these thieves and bring them to justice.
Red Force are the 2023 champions of the CG United Super 50 Cup after defeating Leeward Hurricanes in the final at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. The Hurricanes batted first and posted 135 in 1.5 overs. The target was revised due to rain, and Red Force were set 138 from 43 overs. They ended on 141 for 3 from 23.4 overs to win by 7 wickets under the DLS method. Skipper Darren Bravo top scored with 40, while Nicholas Puran was not out on 39 from just 20 deliveries, inclusive of 4 and 4 sixes. We have highlights from the runs chase.
Over gully. How is that one? It is out.
Justin Greaves.
That's a fantastic strike. That's gone a long way.
Speaking of boundaries, you only see this shot from a man in form.
That's the wicket. Just short, and it may have just held up in the surface. Straight away. What a shot from Nicholas Puran.
And it immediately paid dividends. It looks to be another boundary across the season. Yeah, gets to the boundary, beats the man, despairing dive. Clean up, what a delivery. Clipped away. Strain in line on the pads of Jason Mohammed, and that's food and drink for him. Over the top, deliberate, will challenge the boundary. He just dribbles into it now. Flicked away. That is vintage Nicholas Puran. And again, all the way for 6, Nicholas Puran is on fire. And that's it, the exclamation mark on this contest. Another Nicholas Puran 6, and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they claim their 14th Super 50 title.
It's time to take a peek at the weather. The present barometric pressure is 1011.3 millibars. Air temperature 26.8 degrees, relative humidity 84%, and the winds are blowing out of the east at 28 kilometers per hour. The present weather, fair with slight haze. Sea conditions, moderate in open water, with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Small craft operators along northern and eastern coasts should exercise caution. It's also recommended that sea bathers use beaches that have on-duty lifeguards. As you head out today, be absolutely careful. Here's a look at how the tides roll in today. And the general forecast for Barbados, partly sunny with a few brief light showers, so plan accordingly. Into the evening periods, much of the same is what you can expect. That's today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. It's time now for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
It's Monday, November 13th. Good to have you with us on this beautiful day. Time to say Morning Barbados. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until, let's see, 8 o'clock this morning. And I certainly hope you can stick around as well. If you can't, of course, you can tune in once you get to work, online perhaps. And speaking of online, for those of you who are viewing from across the world, we're always happy to have you with us. Quite the show we have planned for you today. Of course, we'd like to thank those of you who came out yesterday and feared the weather to be a part of the Red Foundation's Walk the Talk that took us on the third leg, which was from here at CBC to Lancaster. I understand you had some showers of blessings, but generally you had a wonderful time. Also, for those of you who came out for the Remembrance Day Parade, quite a day it was, of course, saluting those who have served our country with distinction and who continue to serve today. So as you go out, make sure you remember to wear your poppies as well. I gave up my poppy yesterday for one of those people who did not have theirs, so I'll be sure to get mine back today. All right, coming up on this morning's program, we're going to be telling you quite a bit about the Barbados Photographic Society and their 20th anniversary exhibitions coming up. Sherlock Lord and Bradley Benskin of that society will be in to share more about an exhibition under the theme Bajan Life, and it's a virtual exhibition, so we look forward to having you to talk about that. Also, we have a new segment coming up with the compliments of Glucerna. We're moving into sharing some health tips with you, and we certainly hope that you will stick around for that. But most importantly, we want to make sure that we adhere to exactly what we are talking about. Cheryl Morris-Skeet, who is Chief Procurement Officer acting with the Government Procurement Department, she's going to be in to talk to us about some changes that can make a real difference to how we engage and integrate across services and across departments and ministries as well. So we look forward to hearing a little bit more about that. And the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation will be in to talk to us about the activities coming up for a major celebration this year. We're going to talk to the Lions Club about the Lions Diabetes Global Village as well. Lion Dr. Carlisle Goddard will be in. He's District Governor, Lions District Team. And Lion Lori Hines, Chair of the Sub-District, will be talking about diabetes and how they're working to combat that. So lots to get through today. It's absolutely a packed show, but usually this is what Mondays look like. And then, of course, we're going to close off by speaking with the St. Joseph Parish Ambassadors. We've met all the other parishes so far. So we look forward to reaching into St. Joseph and having a conversation with them and talk about things we absolutely look forward to. Guess who's here today? Shane Seeley, who's communication specialist with the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, is rejoining us in that capacity. Don't get any ideas. He's not back. He's brought along Dr. Rhea Corbin-Hart, patient relations manager, no stranger to Mornin Barbados, and Trudy Griffith, who's lead medication delivery service with the QEH. They're going to explain a little bit more, but we are talking about the 59th anniversary of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, so exciting times ahead. Good morning to all of you and welcome.
Good morning.
Wonderful to have you with us. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Shane.
I thank you for welcoming me back into your humble abode.
Nothing humble about the abode. Yes, I know that you might think your new abode is grander, and it most certainly is, but we're 60 as well, so we're a little ways ahead. No competition here. Always wonderful to work together.
Yes.
So I'm going to start with you, Dr. Hart. Kind of set the tone for us. I know as patient relations manager, a lot of what we see and hear about the hospital really maybe ends up on your desk in terms of how people feel like they're able to relate to what's happening at the QEH. But here we are, 59 years on. That accounts for a great deal.
Yes, indeed. Really proud to be a part of it. As you know, in the role of manager after being a physician there before. But yes, this week is our 59th anniversary. Patient Relations will be having a booth at that anniversary celebration in order to showcase what we do to the public and also internally to our staff as well, answer questions, etc. I don't know if I should get into what we do right now, or if you want me to just hold for a second as we...
Absolutely. We're going to go to Shane to set the tone as well for what the celebrations will be like.
Yeah, we are really celebrating a new dawn at the QEH. It's all about promoting quality and excellence in healthcare. And the 59th really kicks into where you are now, Tisha, where the CBC is now here at the 60th anniversary. So we'll be launching during the week some of the activities for the 60th year of our celebrations. But focusing on 59, no minor feat. We got a lot in store this week, but we have to start by giving thanks, and that's what we'll be doing this morning. When we leave here, we'll be heading down to the QEH, to our chapel, where we'll have a session with the church as we give thanks, our Thanksgiving prayers this morning there on our QEH grounds. And then on Tuesday, we roll nicely in, which is the official anniversary, the 14th. November 14th is when we actually turn 59. So from the Monday today into the Tuesday, then we celebrate with cake cutting. So everyone likes cake. Everyone likes cake on their birthday. Everyone wants a birthday cake. So we'll have a number of cakes so that all of our staff can participate in the anniversary. So they'll be rolling in. We'll be sharing cake with them, sharing our stories, sharing our experiences, and talking about where we go next. It's all about sharing what we do at the QEH. But then on Wednesday, we open our doors. So we'll have this big open day, Tisha, with a number of vendors, a number of major brands will be coming into the QEH and offering what they have, their wares, their offers to our staff and to patients who are passing through, maybe visitors as well, who are passing through our doors. They'll get a chance to take up some of the offers, and some big discounts are in store. I can tell you, Tisha, that will be an interesting one. So we'll have a lot of people, especially on Wednesday. You can come down, take a peep. I'm pretty sure you'll like what there is in our commercial center. We are having a shopping center in one of the more populous areas of the QEH. When you pass through the corridors, you'll see it there set up. It's just all a part of what we'll do during the week. And then there's Thursday, big plans for that. I got to thank you again, Tisha, for making some connections when the NTI, they're coming to basically promote the National Transformation Initiative and their courses. So our doctors, our nurses, our kitchen staff, or all of our staff will have the opportunity to understand a bit more about the NTI and how they can upskill themselves through that platform. And then Friday is all about fun. We'll have a fun day. We'll have road tennis. You'll see Dr. Corbin-Hart probably on the courts, you know, sharing some lashes in the women's tournament. We got dominoes, we got karaoke, and you're getting the chance to, for those who went to Common Mirror, they're Common Mirror type for back to school day.
Only Common Mirror, come on. I'm sure lots of people. Common Mirror Day has gone too. Right. So, you know, that's done and dusted. But that's A-okay. So it's a big anniversary celebration. And I love that you're welcoming in the 60th. You're not waiting till the 60th to celebrate. You're starting in the 59th and moving toward that momentous number. 60, that's where we are. So we understand celebrations, definitely. I mean, what the QEH has been to Barbados and Barbadians through the years is nothing to sneeze at. So we really have to take that in perspective as we move toward these celebrations. And it's wonderful that people who are coming there, because we don't often think of a hospital environment as somewhere we can go maybe to meet people behind the scenes, engage and interact, but that certainly is what you'll be working toward. And maybe trying to make people a little more comfortable in coming into the space. Now, one of the initiatives that I told you last time you were here and mentioned it, that is really in step with international standards and what's happening across the globe, is the medication delivery service. And we have Trudy Griffith, who's lead on in that particular area. So, you know, this is, you know, steps forward for us here in Barbados. There are so many Barbadians who, they might be shut in, they might have challenges, of course, they're not well, and to be able to have their medication delivered will make all the difference. It truly can be a matter of life and death. So talk to us a little bit about this service.
So the delivery service was not planned for, but certainly it was thrust upon us because of the advent of COVID in Barbados. But we took up the mantle, we have developed a delivery service, and we are now in our 4th year. So we like to say that it's probably the best kept secret in QEH in terms of the fact that you can go to your doctor or you can be reviewed over the telephone and have your medication delivered to you from your new prescription, or you can call our hotline and order your medication and have it delivered to you as well.
All right, that's certainly a wonderful move. What's been the response so far to the delivery service?
It has been overwhelming. When we started, the service was free, and then we transitioned to a paid service, and we haven't seen any major fallout. So we have continued the delivery service. We are actually in excess over 1,000 deliveries every month, and we have the capacity for more. So we want to appeal to persons, if you do not want to come to the QEH and wait for long periods of time in some cases to get your medication, we can do that for you while you're at home, you're at work, or you can do that on behalf of a family member who may not be tech savvy.
All right, that's wonderful stuff and absolutely great news. Let's hope it's not the QEH's best kept secret
anymore
after today.
Correct.
Because it's a service that can serve us all. You know, it's not for any specific person. And I love that, you know, there's a nominal fee, obviously, but that can make all the difference, especially with all the traffic on the road these days. It's important that, you know, you're able to stay at work. You might have some little ones who are home, so it might be a challenge to jump on the bus, get there, get it done. You might not have someone you can reach out to. So wonderful initiative. So another commendation for the QEH. I heard Shane talking about you going out on the tennis courts. You know, but I saw your luck. So
I always give Rhea some pressure, but Dr. Corbin Hart, her pals desk will also be featured at the open day, because like Trudy, it's all about making those connections and helping, because that area is a highly trafficked area by visitors, patients leaving and coming, and also generally the staff. So there's an opportunity for people to get an understanding of the PALS desk, the patient advice and liaison service. But more importantly, you remember last time, Tisha, you had that guide, that hospital guide. So it's all about making those connections. So Rhea and her team will be helping people make those connections, because you had the physical copy, but there's also a way to get an electronic copy. And more importantly, understand the use of the PALS desk, the 536 4800. You know, 536 4800. Because
all right, wonderful. Now I know that you have an advisory being put out by QEH and AED because of yet another surge in patients, which is leading to extended wait times. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, that will be officially out at 8, but we're again seeing that surge in the number of patients coming to AED. That was happening over the weekend, so the management team decided that we need to let people know, if your case is not urgent, you can do just that. Call that PALS help desk, 536-4800, to make a better decision. You would be able to decide if you need to come to A&E.
Dr. Rhea, I saw you nodding in agreement.
Yes, 100%. We know that sometimes your health and what's happening can be confusing, and persons are not sure if their case is a case that may need to come to the accident and emergency. So the Patient Advice and Liaison Service Desk, that stands for PALS, we call it your hospital PAL, you can call and seek advice on how you can handle your case at home. You can call, it doesn't necessarily have to be about coming to A&E, but it can be about anything at all to do with the hospital, any questions you may have, where to find things, anything at all about the hospital, we'll point you in the direction.
All right, next interview, I have to be in the space. You have to show me what's happening and I have to see what's going on there, and that'll make all the difference. Always great to have you in studio though, and sharing with Barbadians about all the wonderful and new initiatives, and now of course about the 59th anniversary celebrations that will usher in the big 60th anniversary for the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. We have lots to celebrate about that hospital here in Barbados, and I hope that you never forget it. Thank you, Shane Seeley, Communications Specialist, QEH, Dr. Rhea Corbin-Hart, who is Patient Relations Manager, and Trudy Griffith, Lead for the Medication Delivery Service. Go call a few people and tell them, listen, the QEH has a medication delivery service, especially if you didn't know, or if you have elderly neighbors who, they want a helping hand. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you for having
all
us.
the very best.
Thank you so much, Tisha.
All right, we're going to take a break here and come on back on Morning Barbados. And coming up, we are telling you all about the Barbados Photographic Society. It's another big celebration. They're celebrating 2020. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, 12 minutes to go before the 7 o'clock hour. Certainly hope you're having a wonderful Monday morning. And lots of people talk about Monday morning blues, and I'm sure you're not having Monday morning blues. Monday's the day for fresh beginnings, a new start, something new, just like the Barbados Photographic Society. They are celebrating 20th anniversary, and that means, something new, something to look forward to. You're out of the teens, which means you're a young adult. They're celebrating with something called the Bajan Life Exhibition, and it's a virtual exhibition. It's going to be launched this week. To tell us more about it, we have Sherlock Lord, who's chairperson of the Barbados Photographic Society, and Bradley Benskin, who's president of the Barbados Photographic Society. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
All right. I must admit I've not heard about the Barbados Photographic Society before, or maybe I did, and I forgot a little bit about it. So, Mr. President, tell me a little bit about the society and how it came into being, now 20 years ago.
Right. Well, the Barbados Photographic Society came into being through the amalgamation of two other smaller clubs. It started in 2003, March 2003, where Ansley Weeks, Leslie Taylor, and Laura Rudder joined forces and they created what was then known as the Barbados Photography Club. In 2008, they went through a little bit of a rebrand, and the Barbados Photographic Society was born and incorporated. 20 years later, we are celebrating these milestones, the changes, the developments that we have had over the years, and I am now the current president.
All right, congratulations. Truly beautiful. Now, for you, Mr. Lord, talk to me about how you came to hear about and be a part of the club. I would imagine that everybody who's a part of the club has some deep and profound love for photography.
It's true. Came to the club about, what, 5 years ago. Since this year's our 20th, we decided to do our exhibition, Beijing Life, which is being launched on Wednesday, November the 15th, online. You can visit our Facebook page for the link from 7 o'clock p.m. and click on and see the work of some of our fabulous photographers and enjoy it.
I would imagine doing a digital showcase or a digital exhibition is a whole lot different from what was done in the past, because you would have to go through the process of physically printing and showing the photographs and so on. Is this one of the reasons you decided to go it this particular way and have it as an online exhibition, as a virtual exhibition, or have you in the past also done physical exhibitions?
The decision to go digital this year was really as a result of what went before COVID. We had done physical exhibitions before, and we were hoping in 2022 to also have another exhibition. Unfortunately, with the lockdowns and everything, we were all confined, so we could not do as we would have done in the past. And because I am active in other spheres of photography outside, we came across the platform that is going to be the Host Cons Matrix, and we found that they and some other photography entities had tried with some success to use the platform to host digital. So we decided, since we were coming back out and we weren't sure how it would go in terms of physical setting, to try to get our photographers' feet wet again with exhibiting and let them be comfortable showing digitally, and then that would lead into the 2024 exhibition, which would be physical again in a space, in a gallery, but the photographers would now have shown their work, people would now be seeing the work, and it would still go through the same process of curation and everything as it did in the past. So the element of quality that has to go into the creation of the work is still there. The only thing is that we now have a virtual gallery which we can host for as long as we want. It allows us to also have a physical catalog, and it gives the opportunity for the artist to be seen outside of Barbados more easily rather than the physical space. So that's why we chose that.
Wow, that's beautiful. I believe you have about 24 members who will be showcasing their work.
Yes.
So talk to us more specifically about who and what will be on show for this exhibition, Beijing Life, even though I can maybe guess some of what we can expect to see, but they say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
For those that are featured in the Beijing Life exhibition, Hugh Walker, Mark Lee Brand, our good friendly president here, Sibaliko, quite a few others. I will say visit the online exhibition and see the wonderful work. We also have a printed exhibition, which should be at Queen's Park Gallery, January the 10th to February 14th. And that one is memories again, showcasing the wonderful work.
All right, that's beautiful. You wanted to add?
Yeah, well, what we want to say about the virtual exhibition is that our launch is going to be on Wednesday. The show will run after Wednesday, but the launch will be limited to 100
participants.
So it would be, if you want to be in, you got to be in early. We're going to start exactly at 7, and the first 100, because it's going to be an exclusive live launch. But then the site goes live after that. So persons who missed the launch, that's where we will get to meet and greet with the photographers and the other artists that are going to be participating, and the curator, Giselle Walker. And then we will go live. The link will be up for up until December. And then from there, we go straight into preparing for the January exhibition. And with that exhibition, we will also be doing a live launch at Queen's Park. And you also get to meet the artists there. The only difference between the virtual and the live is that we're going back 20 years. So we're inviting past members who may not be active to come out, bring back out some of the work that they may have had that has not been seen for a while. We're encouraging present members, and we're also going to open it up to some of our young people, because we are building our youth arm again, because we did have a schools program in the past. So we are rebuilding that. So we are going to open that to prospective new photographers to be able to come and showcase with the stalwarts, with the current members, in order to push the art form forward, because it's going to be 20 years of late. So we're looking at the past, we're focusing on the present, and with the young people, we are going forward to the future. So we're looking to the next 20 years of late in 2024, sorry.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, the thing about a photographic society is that you are one of these areas or one of these groups that would have straddled major changes from what you did in the past, like what you said, to what you do now, and maybe even what you will do in future. So I can see the relevance of an exhibition like that, having the theme of the exhibition for that. Certainly for me, as a student who studied mass communication, a big part of that was photography. So we had all of these photography lessons and this and that, and had to learn how to use the green room and develop film and this and that and the other. And that has most certainly changed drastically, especially how people look at it. I remember lining up in long lines at Cave Shepherd back in the day, waiting for your photographs and hoping that somehow some of the ones that were more on the risque side, they didn't look at them too closely. Maybe that was just me. However, you know, there have been some major changes with photography through the years. So it's wonderful to hear that you're also working toward bringing back a youth arm as well, so they get a feel for just moving away from clicks for social media maybe, and looking at how beautiful it can be to truly develop photographs and you know, composing it. But my question to you is, will you also look at incorporating things like photography on phones? Because people do a lot of that as well. They just don't know how to utilize, you know, what's available.
We do. One of the tenets of the Barbados Photographic Society is education, outreach, and the promotion of photography as the art form and also as the science. So we have a wide variety of members with various skill sets. We encourage photography from a pinhole camera to a digital camera. So the camera is the tool. What we want to focus on and what we promote is how to use those tools effectively to capture what you want to capture, to share your story, and to preserve the culture that we have here in Barbados. Because again, we started with Bajan life, and the idea was to capture and share with the rest of the world who we are as a Barbadian people. So the idea is that regardless of whether you use a pinhole camera, if you use a DSLR, even if we go into the realm of generative AI now in terms of the technology, even if you want to do that, yes, there are rules, yes, there are guidelines, yes, people will argue, well, maybe you're not doing photography, but again, it is about capturing light, presenting the image that you capture, and also sharing your vision. So as long as those elements are there, we are going to provide a platform for you to be able to share your vision with it.
Oh, that's truly beautiful. Bajan Life, the virtual exhibition, it'll be launched on Wednesday, November 15th. You know, I'm interested in hearing how you guys were able to select, I would imagine, from your large categories or your large body of work to be able to share, because I know that can always be challenging. It's almost like picking a favorite child, I am told. So thank you for sharing. Charlotte Lord is chairperson, and Bradley Bedskin is president of the Barbados Photographic Society, and they're inviting you to that virtual exhibition. Only 100 people can be a part of it, so make sure you get in early. What time does it start?
We're starting promptly at 7.
Promptly at
7 p.m.
So make sure you're lined up. Where can we go to find out the information on exactly how we log on?
Okay, well, we will share it on our Facebook page. Our PRO, Corey Scott, she does a fantastic job. So we have the link already. So we've already shared it on our Facebook page. We've shared it with the other photography groups via WhatsApp. And people can reshare. But the challenge is that you've got to be there to click that link at 7 p.m. to get on for the exclusive launch.
Calibrate that watch. Make sure the computer is saying the correct time. It has to be 7 o'clock.
And we will also share it on our website. We do have a website. And we will also share it there as well.
What's
the website is Barbados Photographic Society wix.com.
Okay. Well, we'll direct everybody to
We'll
the
share the
Facebook.
links,
So
yes.
go to the Facebook page, and you should be able to navigate from there. And I'm sure you will be absolutely pleased. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing with us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we have some updates for you, and we continue to share on today's presentation of Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the four ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers to reduce the further development of this chronic non-communicable disease within our communities.
Kids Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
3.5 minutes now after 7 o'clock on this Monday, November 13th. Time for an update of the news. Barbadians are being assured that there will be more than enough pork available as the Christmas season fast approaches. However, there may be some challenges in accessing some herbs, fruits, and vegetables, while the chicken supply is expected to be close to normal. CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, gave the update last night on CBC TV8's current affairs program, The People's Business.
I've been hearing the rounds recently in the pork community. There's a rumor going around that, there are 2 containers that have come in out of Sweden. I'm not, look, hold on. We always have this penchant in this country for imports. And I really think that this, it will be a sin if at a time when farmers have an opportunity to make a lot of money, okay, for the feed their families, and they're not exorbitant in terms of the demands, okay, that was to be robbed of them by imports. And I want to make it very clear that I'm hoping that government recognizes this, okay, and that we do not have a situation where any imports will be coming into the island around Christmas when it comes to pork products. That's simply not, because farmers have the ability. There are farmers out there who are who basically design that. If it is one time of the year that they will produce animals for, that is at Christmas time. Okay, so I don't think so. I don't think Barbadians need to fear that they will not be able to get the usual pork for the Christmas table. So I don't think we need to worry about that. When it comes to the area, for instance, of poultry and eggs, the industry has always done what it takes to ensure that Barbadians are able to have ample quantities of those two items on the table. We do not need to worry when it comes to that. The other point too I wish to make, when it comes to the area of fruits and vegetables, we have said before that there could be challenges in relation to some products, but I think that if the conditions out there change well enough going into Christmas time, we can see an improvement. And we can always make adjustments as we get closer to the period, but I don't think we need to worry that much, barring what could happen in the weather.
Mr. Paul adds that as far as poultry goes, the smaller producers have been playing an important role in helping to maintain supply.
We must remember that small producers take up a significant over 40% of the market. And the thing is really that the small producers instantly respond to demand. The other point I wish to make is that the supermarkets have played a very critical and important part in terms of the industry in itself. And one of the things we find in the supermarkets is that they like to diversify the sources from which they actually get chickens. And there's a lot of criticism sometimes they make of the supermarkets when it comes to the cost of importation. But one of the things that we know is that they always, most of them will tell you, is that they want to ensure that they don't have to depend too much on one producer. And what we have seen, talking to a lot of the supermarket people, is that they have been diversifying their demand in terms of, trying to make sure that they involve as many players in the industry as possible. The problem, of course, comes in terms of reliability, because you're running a supermarket and you cannot have a situation where if you expect to get a commodity, that you have a situation where anybody's going to tell you that they run out. So they also have to leverage that against the fact that you have to identify dependable producers who are able to deliver a product consistent with quality and at a consistent price. And that is something, of course, that is a challenge, but they have been able so far to work in the market in order to achieve that.
Meanwhile, Mr. Paul also touched on the contentious issues of the impact of the monkey population on farmers' crops, noting that they are having an impact on costs for farmers and ultimately the production of food. He believes the long-promised consensus of the monkey population needs to be completed, but he also believes the time has come to increase the bounty on monkeys to help reduce the population.
Even if we do it for a period, because if you're managing it properly, once you're aware of the numbers, you increase the bounty so that you can, for instance, give monkey hunters greater incentive to go after these monkeys, because it is an expensive proposition. When you have people who have to go after these monkeys, they have to buy equipment to do it. So therefore, I think that is something that we need to have some flexibility with.
Thousands of National Housing Corporation tenants who are still waiting the free transfer of ownership under the government's divestment program could be in for some good news in the very near future. Project coordinator with the NHC, Roger Ward, gave an update on the process during the Public Affairs One-on-One program. Ward says 3,074 tenants qualified under the program, but so far only 500 of them have received their conveyances. This, he says, is due to some legal challenges related to improvements they have made to their homes over the years. He, however, says all of the tenants who qualified have been living rent-free in the interim. Mr. Ward explains the specific legal challenge that has delayed the transfers for the majority of the tenants who have qualified.
Over the years, a lot of tenants have made additions to the units, and it has prevented us from receiving planning permission to subdivide those units, because a lot of the additions that were made were illegally done. Therefore, government has had to look at a means of transferring these units to people while taking into consideration all of the regulatory concerns.
And that's it for our update of news at 7. We'll have our next newscast, Newsday at 12 noon here on TV8, followed by The World at 1 on our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Kids Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's time for the Mornin Barbados Health Tip, brought to you by Glucerna. Bring on the day.
Well, here's today's health tip. Hypertension or high blood pressure happens when the pressure in the blood vessels is higher than normal. A person who's diagnosed with hypertension when their blood pressure reads higher than 140/90. So be on the lookout and take your blood pressure regularly. That is brought to you with the compliments of Glucerna. Bring on the day. We'll be right back to tell you all about the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation. That's next.
The Mornin Barbados Health Tip was brought to you by Glucerna. Bring on the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. Good to have you with us. It's 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's a marvelous Monday. We're approaching every single day like it's something new. No more Mondays for lagging and all of that. If my team here at CBC can be still here this morning, bright and early, trust me, you can go, because we worked all weekend. Remember, we had the Remembrance Day parade yesterday, and those guys were out braving the weather and really making a good time of it. Always great working with you guys, for absolute sure. So we're telling you now about the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation, and joining us we have Jennifer Blackman, who's chairperson of the marketing committee, and she's brought along Joshua Jemmett, who is a finalist in the 2022 challenge with Jazzy Jams. So I'm going to start with you, Jennifer, to talk to us a little bit about the BEF and all that you've been doing.
So the BEF exists to strengthen and bolster the Barbados microeconomic system, entrepreneurial system. And specifically, we're here today to talk about Saturday, which is the 2023 $20 challenge pop-up market. And we're branding this one Shop for Christmas, shop for the holidays. They can get from skincare, food products, book to have their car washed. And Joshua would have gone through the experience last year, so he can give a hands-on experience on what it's like to be at the Sky Mall. So it's at Sky Mall this Saturday from 10 to 3. And we want people to come out, bring your cash to not just look at the products and services, but to buy something as well.
And support these young entrepreneurs.
Correct.
Now, tell me how you got started with the $20 challenge. What initially piqued your interest?
one day, I always wanted to start a business in general. So one day my dad was saying, you should do something like with your time, especially last year when it was in full form. So I just started, I thought about $20 challenge and utilizing my time for something good, something positive, and it's been a success so far.
All right, tell me about your business.
My business is Jazzy Gems. It is a musical entertainment business where I play at different events, birthdays, weddings, you name it. Anything you would want steel pan music at, I will play it at. So yeah, we've had multiple events over this year so far.
All right, and I'm told that you're experienced. You know, you have loads of experience in the area of showcasing your talent and of course showcasing your business to share with us on what's coming up on Saturday. So, you know, what can we expect and what would you like to see people do more of this time around?
Yes, on Saturday I expect to see like whole set of businesses, new businesses showcasing their talents, whether that is food, skincare, as she said, and doing all sorts of things and coming together in one area to showcase their businesses. I would like to see this Saturday I want to see like new different categories of new businesses, not just the same old businesses that you see all the time. New categories, like as she said, I think I've never seen skincare before selling at this challenge last year, but different things like skincare and just different categories being seen.
All right, that's beautiful. You know, what was the response like initially from the entrepreneurs?
Again, there was like a bumper sign up. We have 170 students this year.
Wow.
18 institutions, which I think is a growth of 5 more than before. We have from your usual secondary schools and we have tertiary as well. We have Barbados Community College as well as University of the West Indies, which I believe is a first this cycle. And the students benefit from so much. They're exposed to a range of workshops like how to run a business, workshops, seminars on marketing, accounting, presentation skills. And the other thing that this pop-up market allows is for them to implement some of the things that they're learning immediately and in a very practical manner. So in addition to wanting to see different categories, I really hope to see that they're going to sell out of their product, that they have to take orders to be able to service them more, that people will really come out and support them. And they win as well because they get an early start on their holiday shopping.
That's beautiful. And Sky Mall is a central spot.
Exactly.
So you absolutely do not have to worry too much about where you're going to find some parking or going too far. And it's a great way to showcase to some of your younger ones as well, show them that they can support young entrepreneurs and that they can really nourish their dreams as well, to be entrepreneurs if that's what they want going into the future. Now, I know you have a number of partners who've also helped to make this possible, and wherever we can, we have to salute Corporate Barbados for, you know, for playing their corporate social responsibility.
Bank of Nova Scotia, Scotiabank is again with us as title sponsor. Their 7th year in the role, I believe. They've always been very passionate about young entrepreneurs. Sky Mall itself is one of our sponsors, Clarity Media, Fund Access. They provide very practical teachings on how to manage your money, how to access money, the loan process and that kind of thing. And Cooperatives General, this for the first time this year. So we're really happy to have our partners on board. They're very hands-on. They like to know what the young people are doing. They are participants in a lot of the workshops and seminars as well.
That's beautiful. Joshua, what are your friends telling you as a young entrepreneur? Do a lot of them know about it? Have you been sharing it around a lot at school?
Yes, I've shared it around with my friends and different things. But what they're so fascinated about is that I can do something that I love and I can make money from it. Like me a year ago, I didn't know that I could be playing steel pan all over the place, doing something that I've been doing for years that I love and make lots of money from it. So it's like them hearing that, it encourages them to want to start their own business.
Oh, that's truly beautiful. And I think that's often the difficult thing to do, to find what you're passionate about and to be able to monetize it. Because a lot of the times that's kind of what is out of the window. Say, yes, this is your passion, but where do you make the money? So you're in the sweet spot right there, absolutely doing what you love, and that's truly beautiful. So the market day, you're driving people to Sky Mall to come out and support these young people. I'm so intrigued by hearing that there are 170 students registered. This must mean a great deal to you.
And the thing is, it doesn't have to be Joshua by himself, me by myself. We could pool. So we can pool that $20 loan and come up with a business that we can work together. So they're not going to see 170 booths, but they're going to see a great representation of our young people. And the thing is, there are other benefits as well. So these young people pool their resources, they work together. So we're teaching at a very young age collaboration and business ethics, but it also helps to boost family relations. Like whenever I see Joshua, I see his dad. At the graduation earlier this year for the last cycle, whole families came to that graduation to celebrate the young person's business, because yes, they're building a business, but they're also hiring employees, which usually starts with their parents or their siblings. And then in 5 years, they could be empowering people within their community. And that's one of the beautiful things about the $20 challenge. It really bolsters family relations. It builds the community. And then Barbadians also get products and services that are locally grown, created, and money stays in the economy.
And let's be realistic when we're talking about Christmas. Some people are still thinking, oh, it's November, come on, Christmas is going to be here in 2.5 minutes.
Correct.
So this is a great jump start on your Christmas shopping. And what I love about being able to come out to initiatives like this is you're kind of killing several birds with one stone. Now, no birds were hurt in making of that statement, okay? Because I know the animal rights people are saying, why must you say kill a bird?
Correct.
Yeah, but for me, personalized gifts make all the difference. So it's not just something that you just grabbed en masse from wherever, but here it is that you can support these young entrepreneurs with what they're doing and their talents. And you can also get something that's local and personalized, that you know, special person in your life, colleague, friend, can see that you put a little thought into it.
Correct.
And made it just for that. So again, it's coming up on Saturday.
This Saturday.
The 18th.
10 till 3.
Jingle all the way to a merry marketplace. It's at Sky Mall, Haggett Hall. And it's from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I mean, what more can you ask for? If you don't wake up early on the weekend, you might be a sleep-in type of person. Makes no difference. They're going to be there until 4. Joshua, I'm very impressed. And anytime I need someone to play steel pan, it will be you.
Yes.
I will be calling at Jazzy Gems. Yes. All right? Absolutely. Good stuff. And like we said, there are 170 students from 18 institutions who are part of this $20 challenge. That makes all the difference. Thank you so much, Jennifer Blackman, chairperson of the marketing committee for the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation. Thanks for all the great work that you guys are doing. And this $20 challenge, I can just see how it will continue to grow and morph throughout the years. Congrats to you as well, Joshua Jemmett.
Thank you.
And to your business as well. And of course, we're encouraging all the students to encourage their parents and friends to support Joshua and all the other students as well. Have a great day at school.
Thank you.
You have a good day at work.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we have some wonderful stuff to tell you about the work of the Lions. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout, or Brownie Pack? Or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC Newsnight at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Heading up to 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, another hearty good morning to you. And thanks for waking up to Morning Barbados. Always good to have those of you who share with us. Remember, if there's something in your community or with someone with you that you think we should share, you should absolutely email it to us, because that's why we're here. We're here to share and celebrate in all the triumphs of Barbadians, not only here on island, but abroad as well. And that's what we're doing in talking to the Lions Club this morning about the Lions Diabetes Global Village Project. It's a project being spearheaded by them, but it's going to take all of us to make it truly a success, because they're reaching into the communities and helping us deal with something very, very important, diabetes. Joining us this morning to talk more about it is Lion Dr. Carlisle Goddard, who is District Governor. Congratulations are in order. I've not seen you since you assumed this new title.
Thank
and
you.
Also here is Lion Leroy Hines, who is chair of the Sub-District 60B Diabetes. Wonderful to have both of you with us.
Good morning. Thank you. It's good to be back.
So, Dr. Goddard, good to have you back.
Thank you very much. It's been a while.
Dr. Goddard, talk to us about this initiative, this project that you're undertaking.
Well, thank you for inviting us, first of all. Lions in Barbados, or Lions across the world actually, are celebrating November as World Diabetes Month. And this was, this World Diabetes Day first came out in 1991 by the International Diabetes Federation in conjunction with the diabetes associations across the world. But then the United Nations embraced it back down in about 2009, if memory 2006, if memory serves me correctly. United Nations and the Lions International work together hand in hand. And so diabetes has always been a very important tenet to Lionism. So when we serve the community, we're very aware of persons who have diabetes, persons who are at risk of diabetes. And this year's theme for World International Diabetes Day is access to care. And that's right in the heart of us Lions, because we get into the communities and we try to be engaging with persons who are at risk of having diabetes. And in Barbados, where diabetes is very prevalent, we do a lot of screening, we do a lot of campaigning. So us Lions said for World Diabetes this year, we want to make something homely to Barbadians. And so the concept of the Global Village was created. And in the Global Village context, we want the common Barbadian to know diabetes is about all of us. It's not like, oh, you hear your neighbor have diabetes or this person have diabetes. With the rate of diabetes in Barbados, almost everyone in Barbados knows someone who has diabetes. So it's no longer just a person living with diabetes issue, it's more an issue where if the community is aware of diabetes, why can't we not do something about it? If you hear that your neighbor is having a low blood sugar or have symptoms, you should be able to respond. You should know how to go and test. You should know what to give them right away until emergency help comes. So being aware is what is important. So from us, we want a global village where everyone is involved. The nutritionist, the pharmacist, the doctor, the nurse, the person living on the streets, even the gardener, they should all be able to recognize signs of a person having a problem with diabetes and how to at least assist until the emergency care comes.
That's truly important, especially like you said, considering the incidents. Now, Lion Hines, you are chair of this, the district, the sub-district 60B, which is our district, which includes, as you explained, a few other areas. So talk to me about what the discussion is surrounding what's happening not only here in Barbados, but in the other areas that you serve.
Well, we decided we have a team which is members from other areas also. And the team, in alignment with the Lions Club of International global cause, and in keeping with our district governor's core areas, we decided that we're going to have a campaign to fight diabetes, and this campaign is primarily to increase the public awareness of diabetes, the risk factors associated with diabetes, and the care and management of diabetes. And that's why we came up with not only the global village, but we decided to dedicate Friday of every Friday of the month of November to the wearing of something blue. And I'm in my blue.
I'm in blue
So,
too.
I realize that, yes. So that's it. And the week of activities, we started with a church service at the Sanctuary Empowerment yesterday, and today, TV, and tomorrow, we're having across the island testing. We have partnered with the Diabetes Association of Barbados, and also the Diabetes Foundation, and the Endocrine Center, where my district governor is responsible for. So with this partnership, the Diabetes Association also will be doing screening tomorrow. And in the evening, we're having a panel discussion across the district, and one of the focal areas is a 14-year-old student with type 1 diabetes who will be sharing her experience across the district. And of course, we will be having our own district governor, also dietitian, nurse, and another doctor on the panel.
Well, the wonderful thing about having a district governor who works with and treats diabetes patients every single day is that you can rest assured that you're definitely going in the right direction. So talk to me, Mr. District Governor, about your approach in getting this up and running, because some of the times you have people consulting, yes, but they don't necessarily work directly with people who are working through living with diabetes every single day. You operate from a position of extreme authority in terms of your depth of knowledge, what you know as somebody who treats this every single day. What are some of the things that we've been missing over time that you guys are going to look to encompass in this particular project?
Thank you. Wonderfully phrased question. My theme for this year is part of the Ubuntu's philosophy, which says, I am because we are. And in that philosophy, we are trying to translate to Barbadians that no one is an island, that we all require support from others. So taking that model back to diabetes, if you have diabetes, the fight is not yours alone. It is all the persons in your household, all your family, friends, and so on. Once upon a time, diabetes was very tabooed. If you had diabetes, no one knew until you collapsed or something happened. So we want to make the average person be aware these are the signs and symptoms of diabetes. It might not be something as easy as you might remember, say recurrent infection or not a wound not healing, because those are very common things. But you being aware that there are symptoms, you now being aware that there are actually machines that you can check someone's sugar in less than 3 seconds, having access to machine quickly in everybody's household or at an emergency center, being aware of what you eat, how much you eat, and when you eat matters. We live in a world now where everyone wants to do keto diet or diet restrictions because they think by starving yourself or by cutting so much calories, you will lose weight. When in fact, that's the opposite, because when you put yourself into storage, the body holds on to fat and rather than break it down. So we want you to be exposed to a dietitian who can say to you, these are the better options of eating, not necessarily give you a paper slate to eat, but say, consider what you naturally would eat and say, why not cut that in half? Why not mix this with that? Why not try something alternative? And why not choose something on a different day to eat? We want to say that exercise is still important. So get at least 30 minutes in. If you start gradually, it could just be a simple walk around your block. Then you can graduate to going laps around the pastor or the university. Then we want to get you into cycling or into gym. You don't run straight to the gym to exercise. Utilize what is available to you. We want to know that when some person goes to do a blood sugar testing, they have an idea what the normal ranges are, what is abnormal. Because when you test for testing's sake but not being aware of that data, how to interpret, then you're lost. But these are so simple things that the average person should know. We know we hear when a person has a heart attack, you need to do CPR and so on. But yet, how many people know CPR in Barbados? So similarly, we want to make the public more aware how to test, how to look, how to listen for signs of diabetes. So the Lions Club is very invested in this, and at all our health presentations, we're going to do educational bulletins, how to test, how to check what the numbers are. So we're going to the root, we're going to the people, we're going to say, you must be empowered because the person living with the illness must be supported by the community.
All right, let's talk logistics a little bit more in terms of where you will be, how people can connect with you.
Okay. At the Dighton Griffith Secondary School on the 18th of November, we start from 8 till 4. We have a number of key stakeholders, and we're inviting the general public of Barbados. And I want to say this morning, it is free, free, free. So we're inviting the public to come out and get tested. We have the flyers. We've been trying to distribute them all through the island, especially in the areas of Dighton Griffith Secondary School. And we're having Zumba, dance exercise. We're having persons there who will be showing off their nutrition skills and offering healthy drinks, etc. So it is going to be a big event, and we're hoping that the whole of Barbados can come out. And we're trying to reach the children especially, because we want to go into the primary schools also with this project, so we can reach the children.
And if I can emphasize here, it's Global Village. It's a walk through. It's a very casual thing. We want to make diabetes so simple, so casual to you that you're no longer afraid of it, it's no longer tabooed. So if you come to walk through the school in a village complex or type, you say to the neighbors, hi, how are you doing? But we're talking about diabetes today. We're looking at foot care. I want to learn how to test. So the conversation is a walk. It's just a pleasant experience, hence the term Global Village. You know, we are home in our village. We are, you know, we want to make it that natural to you.
All right, and of course, I'm seeing here that you have, you know, you mentioned a few of the key stakeholders, but I love that you mentioned, Dr. Goddard, about the fact that you're going to be talking about things like foot care and other areas that all tie in with diabetes.
Right.
I see that some of the key stakeholders are also other professionals who deliver this care that's much needed for people to be able to manage diabetes.
Right.
But before we get there, I'm also pleased to hear that you're looking at people because, I mean, we're all interconnected, all interrelated. So if we're not affected by it directly, we know someone who is. And there are not a lot of us who are doing testing before, because that's something that can be done as well, to see if we're pre-diabetic. I think for a lot of people, that might put you in the frame of mind that you want to change how you're eating, what you're doing. And then there are many people who are struggling as well with finding a right fit for them. You know, there's so much, as you mentioned, Dr. Goddard, online about what you should eat and how you can do this and that and the other. So this truly is a village, a good start to be able to move through all of the various areas that we need to get out on the other side in a better, healthy position.
I just want to add that while we in Barbados, we're doing these projects, the district similarly are doing the same projects. And we would want that on the 18th, that the district will be doing a global village also. So it's a district, and Barbados is part of the district, and we live here. Of course, we have to push it. Yeah.
So to magnify that, District 60B for Lions, countries from Anguilla all the way in the north, right down to Barbados in the southeast. So all the countries in between, you have St. Vincent, Grenada, St. Lucia, Antigua,
Cayman.
You know, yes, Cayman Island, St. Martin, Saba, all of those. They will all be doing this very similar thing on these days, because we want to say we are stepping out as Lions. We're here to help you. So under this mandate of I am, because we are, everyone is putting their hand to the plow to say we're going into the communities to make a difference. And that's what Lions is about, making a difference, because we serve and we serve our community.
Now, I know there are a number of additional initiatives that you'll be undertaking throughout this month. So the church service was yesterday.
Yes. And today, Mornin Barbados, tomorrow we're going through the island because we have 9 Lions clubs in Barbados, and each club is responsible for a particular area. So they'll be doing testing in their areas. And I said earlier, we joined with the foundation and the association, and they're having testing also in Heroes Square. So, and the 15th and the 16th, we're hoping to go into the primary and the secondary schools to share the awareness.
And a panel discussion tomorrow night.
Right. And of course, our big day, I can't keep stressing this, is the 18th, which is free, and we want all Barbadians to come and know your numbers. And it's not only that testing for diabetes, we have cholesterol, we have the foot persons coming in, and podiatrists, and
ophthalmologists.
Right, and everything. Any area that diabetes affect, we're going to try to look at it on the 18th.
Which is just about every area.
Every area.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can perhaps share the Zoom link later for tomorrow's
Yes.
discussion,
Yes.
so we can send that back to you so you can at least.
Absolutely, we'll try to share that. As you mentioned, there's also going to be, coming up, Dr. Goddard, I saw you mentioned that there's a panel discussion coming up tomorrow in association with Pharma Wellness.
Yes.
So we'll share more about that and remind people tomorrow early. Then the Lions Villages, what they really want you to come out and be a part of it. And it's culminating with a nationwide walk.
That's
Run,
on
cycling,
the
and swimming
19th.
exercise.
That's the 19th, but the nation walk is also the 19th.
All right.
So we're not going into that because we don't want to compete.
Right, so we're going to amalgamate what our efforts are with the nation walk just to keep the emphasis, because in keeping the global concept, we're going to join to show people in Barbados we're all one.
Get out and
because
get
it's,
active.
it's one cause, and that one cause is to be active, eat better, eat small amounts, and just get engaged to fight diabetes.
All right,
But we
truly
plan
wonderful.
to set up at the nation to do testing early in the morning. So we're everywhere.
All right, beautiful. So come out on Saturday to the Lions Global Village, a project really launched to target the entire country.
Right.
So make sure we get out. Key stakeholders, ophthalmologists, the Ministry of Education and Health, those ministries, health at our heart and stroke. They're going to talk kidneys, podiatrists will be there. There will be dancing and exercise. Ross University is going to be there as well, local emergency services. And so it really is a village, as the district governor has told us. So make sure you come on out. It's all day at the Dighton Griffith School and be a part of it. Thank you once again.
And it's
don't
free.
be strangers. Don't take another 40 years to come to see Dr. Goddard.
I'll be back.
We've missed you from the airwaves. And good to see you, Miss Hines from St. Lucie.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break here and come back on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Together aspire achieve. Many lions one heart, yes I am, because we are shoulder to shoulder, we moving forward. Love, compassion, humanity, honor. We are our brothers keepers indeed. Disaster, illness, and people in need. Lions always taking the lead. With God's grace we will succeed. So come together now, fight for a cause, don't settle now. Make this world better now, let us show you how. I am because we are.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthy.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 15 minutes to 8 o'clock. If you were supposed to be there for 8 and you're still at home, I know how some days go. Some mornings, you just can't get out of the house. You know, there's so much to do and nothing to do, and it's sort of like you're going in circles. So I certainly hope that's not one of those mornings for you. I certainly hope you get there early, especially for the little ones heading out to school. Yes, you're just off of a half-term break. So, you know, you should be well rested and roaring and ready to go. All right, so let's take you to St. Joseph. Right now, we've been meeting the parish ambassadors from across the island, and these guys tell me they saved the best for last. Is that right?
Yes, please.
All right, good stuff. So the ambassadors are Shananka Ned and Francois Carrington. Congratulations on being the ambassadors for 2024.
Thank you.
And they've brought along chairperson of the St. Joseph Parish Committee, Margot Griffith. So welcome, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, so Margot, talk to me about the work of the committee. I know that it's a non-stop thing when we hear Community Independence Celebration Secretariat. For those of us who are not directly involved, it seems like an initiative in just a few months getting ready for the lead up to independence. But for you, it is truly a year-long activity because I know the committees are working around the clock. So let's talk about that work.
We did lots of work in the community. We do what is called field work, where we visit houses in the community and we get to meet the residents there. 6 persons were having challenges after COVID. We decided that we would step in and assist wherever possible. So we gave out lots of food hampers, clothing hampers, back to school items. We also have a feeding program 3 days per week. Right now we are only giving 75 persons. Before it was 125, but some persons got back their jobs, others went, got new jobs. So it's now 75 persons. We have a reading club at one of the primary schools where we go on evenings and we assist the children with reading because we want our children to do really well in the common entrance examination. So it's lots of work, but we enjoy it.
Oh, that's truly beautiful, and I love that. You said it's field work, but I always say this type of work is field work, F-E-E-L as well, because you have to get out there and really, feel what's going on and get to know your community. Tell me what intrigued you, Shananka, to the point where you said, I'm going to be an ambassador.
Well, for me, it was something I always see, but also I was asked by Margot to be an ambassador, and I took the opportunity because I thought it was something great and for my community.
What about you, Francois?
Well, I love interacting with people, so like for the time Margot come and tell me that she want me to become a parish ambassador, I jumped at the opportunity to get out there and speak to my fellow parishioners.
Talk to me about how you've been really an ambassador for St. Joseph. St. Joseph is one of these parishes that I think Barbadians remember a lot about it when they're taking long drives. But for those of you who are living there, talk to me about the subtle and stark differences alike.
There's so many things that come to mind, but other than that, it is a good it's a good feeling, and it's nice to interact with the people in the community and see the different stuff that happens and stuff, because we have a lot going on in St. Joseph. We may be small, but we still have a lot going on.
Yeah, there's nothing small about St. Joseph. Talk to me about those wonderful things about St. Joseph that you absolutely love.
I love the quietness of St. Joseph.
Yes.
It's very quiet. And the togetherness of everyone in St. Joseph. Don't really having a lot of issues in St. Joseph and water or the bus or what's not, but that everybody's come together when it's time to get out there and do anything. They always form an alliance and get it done.
Have you always been a St. Joseph resident?
Me? No, actually, I haven't. But since I moved there, I have loved living there. I haven't always.
All right. What were some of the differences that helped to kind of bring you on board as a Josephine? Is that what you call it?
Yes,
a
please.
Josephine?
Yes, please.
As Francois said, the quietness is very quiet and peaceful in
I
St.
can
Joseph.
tell even the way you're speaking.